Imagine a cabin, hidden deep in a rainy forest, where every drop on the roof is a lullaby just for you. Tonight, come inside where the rain becomes a storyteller, and calm sleep awaits. Part 1. The rainy road home. The road was empty, stretching ahead through tall cedar and pine. Rain tapped gently on the windshield, soft, unhurried, like fingertips dancing on glass. Your hands gripped the wheel, the scent of wet earth drifting inside, that familiar mix of pine, resin, and fresh rain, comforting, steady. It wasn't about rushing or arriving. It was the rain itself that called you. You followed it, deeper into the forest. Gravel narrowed to soil, soil softened into moss. Your tires whispered along the road, and the world quieted, almost respectfully, there. Just as twilight turned to night, a warm yellow glow appeared. It wasn't streetlights or neon, just a single lantern in the distance. The forest seemed to part slightly, a hidden path revealed. You turned onto it, muddy wheels carving gentle lines, until you reached the cabin. Rain-damp leaves clung to the roof. Icicles or rain-wrung stalactites formed, though it wasn't cold. It was the rain's weight, heavy and calming. You stepped out. The air was close, full of moss, rain, and something ancient. And above, through the branches, the sky opened two inky blue ribbons. Part 2. First steps inside. You approached the doorknob, locked only shy. You pushed, and it swung open with a soft sigh. Inside, warm light pooled on wooden floors. The fireplace glowed in the corner, gentle and slow. Blankets draped a rocking chair nearby. A kettle whispered steam on a small stove. The rain kept playing its lullaby, but now it sounded tender, a soft percussion backing the hearth's crackle. Steam curled from the kettle, smelling like chamomile and honey. You breathed it in. You didn't close the door. You didn't need to. You padded further. Inside, walls lined with wooden shelves held jars of dried flowers, smooth stones, and a few leather-bound books with no titles. A window fogged softly, making the panes glow golden in the firelight. You sat on a soft rug under a low beam and let your shoulders loosen, as if the cabin itself was exhaling joy. Whatever had been pressing on your mind, the busy city, the deadlines, the noise felt distant now, like a story from someone else's life. Part 3. The windows whisper. You walked to the foggy window. Outside, the rain tapped leaves in gentle rhythm. A puddle formed on the ground, reflecting the lantern light. You reached out and brushed mist from the glass. Your breath left a momentary haze. Long fingers of water trailed down the pane, joining the chorus of rain. Each drop fell toward the earth, as if rewinding times, slowing it down, resting it. Overhead, a crow landed on a branch, settling its feathers. The cabinwood shifted, settling into the night. You leaned your head against the glass, cool and damp, against your skin but tender, like a lullaby singer's cheek. You felt held. The world was small now, contained, intimate. All that mattered was this moment. The rain, the warmth, the softness of your breath. Part 4. A hidden shelf. Your eyes flickered to a small bookshelf beside the hearth. One diary-like volume drew you in, its leather spine soft and worn. No title on its cover, only a small stamped moon. You picked it up and felt its weight, not heavy, but meaningful. Inside, the first page read, "To whoever sits here on a night like this, may these words guide you into calm sleep." A few lines below, gentle handwriting, described how the cabin came to be a refuge, built by someone who had learned from the rain that sometimes the softest storms bring the deepest peace. You ran your finger over the writing, feeling the warmth of another's hand. The author wrote of tea by the hearth, of listening without speaking, of letting the rain beat a rhythm against the heart. You closed the diary. It didn't feel invasive. You felt grateful. Someone had left this kindness behind. Part 5. The fireside rest. You returned to the rocking chair. Its cushions cradled you, memory foam soft. You tucked your feet under a blanket, soft fleece, just a thread to warm, perfect for sleepy toes. The fire crackled low. Sparks rose and twirled like tiny stars before melting back into ember. You heard something, a soft mewl. You paused, A small kitten-like shape padded into view gray as a raindrop, bright-eyed and blinking. It brushed past your leg, completely confident. It curled up across your lap. Its purr vibrated through your body, echoing the fire's rhythm and the rain's lullaby. Your hands settled on its backs, steady strokes. Your eyes could close or stay open. It didn't matter. The kitten's purr taught you a new kind of rhythm. Inhale with the fire, exhale with the rain. Rest between those breaths. Part 6. The porch swing later. You rose, kitten still in your arms, and stepped outside to the covered porch. The rain hadn't stopped, but it had softened again, like it knew you needed peace. The porch swing was waiting. Woven caned, creaking gently in the breeze, with 2 pillows tucked neatly at one end. You sat, cradling the kitten. It nestled in, purring again like a lullaby in rhythm with the falling rain. From here, the forest looked alive, not in motion, but in mood. The trees stood still, soaking in each drop, and every so often, a breeze would carry the scent of jasmine, pine needles, and damp soil. You rocked gently, not to go anywhere, just to move in place, to let the body soften into quiet rhythm. Part 7. The rain changes somewhere in the distance, thunder murmured, not a roar, just a low, sleepy hum, like the sky stretching in its own kind of slumber. The rain thickened for a moment, drops growing larger. Each one hit the porch roof with a little more weight, like they wanted to be noticed. It was the sound of memory, of childhood, of watching water trace rivers down glass. You stayed there, wrapped in warmth, a soft blanket now over your knees. You weren't cold, just comforted. The kitten shifted and pressed its head into your arm, and the thunder spoke again. Still gentle, like an old story, returning. Part 8. A letter appears. You returned inside, lit only by the fire now. The electricity had quietly disappeared, but the room seemed brighter without it. And there, on the same table where you'd found the journal, was an envelope. It hadn't been there before, but somehow it felt like it had always belonged. Your name was on it, handwritten, softly slanted. Inside, a letter. A single sheet. You've come far. This place recognizes you, not because you were lost, but because you were ready to rest. Tonight, let your mind leave no tracks. Let the rain carry it all away. The cabin. You folded the letter and held it close to your heart. It felt like the final word of a poem. Not the end, just a long pause. Part 9. The forest hums back outside. The rain slowed again, not quite stopping, just pulling back, like it too had read the letter. You opened the window slightly. A cool breeze kissed your cheeks, and you heard something unusual. The trees were humming, not singing, not rustling, just a soft, resonant tone. A forest lullaby. The kitten leaped to the windowsill, its ears twitching. Its eyes glowed in the firelight, as if it understood. The hum continued, and in the hush between tones, your thoughts stilled. The hum wasn't coming from outside. It was answering something inside you. Part 10. The cabin breathes as night deepened. Something in the cabin shifted. The wood groaned gently, not in protest, but in comfort, like it was stretching with you. You lay down on a thick, cloud-like mattress by the fire. The kitten curled in the crook of your arm. And as your eyes fluttered, the flames settled low, casting a soft orange dance across the ceiling. The rain ticked gently. The forest exhaled, and for a moment, it felt like the cabin was breathing with you. Not magical, not surreal, just real. In a way most things forget how to be. You closed your eyes, and the hum, the purr, the rain, all merged into one long, calming sound. Sleep had arrived, not with force, but with permission. Part 11. The memory room at some quiet hour. You didn't know when, because the clock had stopped ticking. The kitten stood and padded toward a side door. It was one you hadn't noticed before. With a glance back, it meowed once. Gently you followed. Inside, a narrow hallway lined with fogged glass panels. Not mirrors, not windows, but memories. Each pane flickered softly with light, and when you stopped in front of one, it came alive. You saw yourself, younger, walking along a quiet shore. Waves rolled in slow motion. You laughed at something the wind had whispered. Then the vision faded. This room didn't speak aloud. It remembered, softly. And in the remembering, it forgave. Part 12. The forgotten teacup. You emerged back into the cabin, breathing slower now. The fire hadn't died. It had, simply dimmed to match the night's hush. On the table, a new item, a porcelain teacup, warm to the touch. Inside, a deep golden brew. The scent, lavender, a hint of lemon, and a memory of vanilla. You lifted it. As you sipped, your breath calmed. The tea was soft and floral, like the first page of a story read aloud in a quiet room. And as it warmed your chest, the kitten returned to your lap, eyes blinking slowly. It was as if the tea was made from dreams themselves. Part 13. Visitor in the rain. A soft tap echoed through the cabin. Not thunder, not a branch. A knock, barely there. You opened the front door. No one stood there, only a set of paw prints in the wet porch wood, and a folded piece of cloth with a symbol stitched into it. A small spiral sun. You picked it up. It smelled like the forest moss, fresh bark, a hint of something ancient and gentle. The prints didn't lead away. They ended right at your feet, as if whatever had come stayed. Perhaps the cabin had received a gift. Part 14. The blanket. You spread the cloth open. It was soft, softer than any fabric you'd felt before. Woven through it, tiny, invisible threads that shimmered only when touched by firelight. You draped it over your shoulders. Warmth unfurled immediately, not heat, but something deeper. Like your body had finally been seen, and comforted, and told, "You're okay now." You lay down again. The blanket curled at the corners, like it too was falling asleep. Even the kitten purred more slowly now, as if its dreams had grown heavier. Part 15. A cabin's whisper. The fire whispered, soft as breathing. The rain returned, lighter than before, like a lullaby revisiting. And then, a sound. A gentle voice, not outside, not inside, but around. It said, "You belong here. For tonight, you are the cabin's heart." You didn't need to speak back. You only closed your eyes. And just before sleep fully cradled you, you felt it. The whole cabin breathing with you, not to keep you awake, but to keep you safe as you fell asleep.